The show on Thursday, Not So Christian Brothers, welcome, Colm Hayes and Justin Caffrey was all about...
Please do like, subscribe and follow.
Cash, yes.
And we are brothers, by the way. Different names, but we are brothers.
We are brothers. Same mother.
Same mother.
We were talking about
Who
Terry
only wants
and I
whiskey
were
for
laughing
Christmas.
that the boomer is here. Well, not you're not both boomers. No.
I'm 50.
Z.
I'm Gen Z.
I'm millennial. You're millennial.
Yes,
we're
I'm
talking about the can of red
damn.
wine.
I'm an
that Colm
aristocrat. Go
opened.
ahead, sorry.
You need to look back to Colm opening a can of red wine from some fancy shop and sipping it, and we were talking about it.
And he brought in. Why did
brought
you bring
another
another one? Why did you bring
another
two? Like
I brought one for the after show.
They're £6.
There's £6. It's called
Terry
juice.
and I were saying we used to drink out of a carton where
Yeah.
you would sup it from it. So, you know.
a plastic bag in Australia. Yeah,
Always
lovely.
drink responsibly.
But you know what it did? It reminded me of the kind of Christmas. We start buying trendy stuff and going to the off license and getting the table all laden because Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. It's so expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Is it just because I've small kids and we're in Santa zone, or is it just really expensive for everyone?
I remember having small kids and Santa Zone and everything like that. And what
Are
really...
they your own kids?
What? Yeah.
All the children of Ireland.
I'm sorry.
Put that out. Take that out, Terry.
I remember the thing that irked me the most was sort of in the middle of January, the stuff that you threw out.
What?
That you bought. Well, like chocolates and ridiculous stuff. And then you'd open the freezer and those M&S sort of pigs and blankets and all that sort of crap. Just take it. And you know you're never going to use it. And there was just so much waste.
God, I love a pig and blanket.
So, yeah, I know. But we buy too many. We'd buy 20 pigs and blankets.
You're just saying the wastefulness.
The wastefulness. I think there's an awful lot of waste. And then Christmas dinner. Who doesn't throw out at the end? I know when we used to go over to my brother-in-law Stephen, like there was 20 of us having dinner, really good dinners, but it was never eaten. So there must be the greatest waste of food, which equals money,
waste.
which is just thrown away, huh?
I think people are getting better at food waste, but I don't know whether you've seen this week. We all, because we're now in December, people start talking about how much they spend.
Yeah.
People of all sorts of wealth. They're like, I spent thousands on the Christmas dinner. I spent thousands on the Santa toys. A lot of kids get one big toy from their parents, and then Santa brings the other stuff, relations, in-laws. But people are getting better at food waste because we've learned the lessons of that. But I don't know. Terry made this amazing point. He's like, if you just get the cash out when you're shopping, less likely to...
Do you spend less if you have cash in the hand, or do you spend more when you don't have cash and you're just using your credit card all the time?
Because cash is there, like, damn it.
Well, you can count out what you spend, can't you?
Do you spend less or do you spend wisely? Because
that's a great question.
Because it is a great question, and I've loads of those. Because, you've got. Let's say
Loads of those what?
Okay.
He's got a little book.
I'm not sure he has loads of cash or he has loads of great questions.
Loads of.
No. So you'd have, let's say,
Oh my
500
God, you're
euros.
a financial advisor. I'm going to die. Go on.
500 euros in cash. You can see it going as you buy roses, the turkey. You can see it dwindling down. So you do make yourself clever at what you're buying. Also, right, cash, you can haggle.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap on, strap in, for the not-so-Christian brothers.
I know
What, in Dunn
somebody.
stores?
I know somebody. You know him as well. And when he goes into a butcher's, right, he brings cash and he haggles.
Stop it.
So he'll go in and he'll say, "I'll have 12 steaks, 20 chicken fillet," and they'll go, "That's 170. I'll give you 120."
No way.
No, he said 170. I'll give you 125. I'll give it to you in cash. No. Okay. See the butcher's across the road? He'll take it for 125. Now, do you take it now or not?
Stop.
And they always go, "Okay, go on, give it us."
I would haggle on most things if I have cash. Like there's very little that I'd ever buy. Like if I go to Harvey Norman's to buy anything, I'll haggle. Like every shop I go to, there's always margin.
10%.
But hang on, if they have a
Same as
price
10% everywhere.
in Harvey Norman, when they have a price and they mark it up and it's there as 80 quid, you can't haggle at a till for something that's scanned.
I do. I don't haggle.
What?
I don't haggle at the till. I haggle with the salesperson.
What do you say?
I say, "Where's your margin? I'm not paying you that." I said,
Stop it.
and I'll get it. I'll generally get it for between 5 and 10% less
Stop
in
it.
any store. Yeah.
Would they not just say, "Well, we'll sell it all day, so don't worry, mate"?
I
No?
remember doing this on a talk show, and the head of purchasing in one of the big furniture stores said that there's 10% available on every single item in the store for the difficult customer. So you make them so they will. There's 10%.
Here I am. Hello.
Yeah, there you go. No, but I mean, that's fine.
But
Absolutely.
the thing is, I think for anybody who, like, if you're going to part with your money, you have to feel like you're getting value for it. And in the context of the fact that if you're buying a product off anybody, they've put a margin on it. And my view is their opportunistic margin is what they hope to get from everybody. And my opportunistic margin is hopefully what I get from them. And there's always a middle point. You'll always get a discount.
But like,
I've never done that. That's interesting.
I remember many times in Harvey Norman's pub for big products, like if I remember getting a corner suite or whatever, with all the, and it was pretty expensive. And I said, like, what's your best deal on that? And they went, well, that's the best deal. You're not getting anything. And I went, no, there has to be something, or else I'm not going to buy it. And they threw in a little footstool, which was like 800 quid. But I think they threw it in because it was with that anyway. And now they're going to have to ship in another one and sell that.
Yeah, it's attached.
So he just went, yeah. Well, I don't think it was 800 in fairness. They were about 100. I'm prone to exaggeration. Stop, Terry. So anyway, I got that then.
You can't do that in Zara with the coat. I love that about the couch.
Why not? I think you can.
You can't go up to the till
I've
in Zara.
negotiated on suits. I've negotiated discounts on everything. The thing that I say, and if you ask my son, what is the one, and I've given him many things I think he should use the rest of his life, what's the one most important thing I've said to him all the way through his life? I know he would say, if you don't ask, you won't get. And what's wrong with asking?
Which is brilliant.
100%. I totally agree. If you don't ask, you don't get. And if you do ask and they say no, you don't go backwards. You just stay in the exact same position you were.
Correctamundo, right? You're just where you were before.
Yeah.
So stick your neck out and ask.
Is it the same thing that we had a big dinner party and we got takeaway bits as well? And one of the big lamb chop dishes didn't arrive. That was 30 quid. I was really pissed because I was like, people are here, we're serving. And when they rang saying they'll deliver it, I asked, could they refund us? Because they were now 45 minutes delayed because we were serving up other stuff and it was a really nice treat, this place. And I felt like a fool asking, but it's interesting you say this.
And
Is it Irish?
Did they refund you?
No, she made a big drama and I said, but we're now an hour behind. But I'm thinking now, I bought a second-hand car last year and actually I did haggle, which is probably the first time and I do remember saying to him, can you go down by 500? Like, I don't have that. And he did.
Well, actually, people do haggle with cars all the time.
He was kind of pervy. I liked
all
him.
the time, yeah. But on the other thing, my son orders, if he orders a lot of pizzas, right? Like 5 pizzas, whatever,
He'll
his
ask for a
mates. No. He always rings back and says, sorry, we only got 4.
Stop
and they went, no, 5 went down. He went, well, 5 didn't arrive. We've only got 4, and now 2 of my mates can't have dinner.
That's just criminal.
So what they do is they say, we're so sorry, and they put a €20 into his Deliveroo.
Okay,
I'm not
But
sure.
that's not criminal. It's criminal.
It's a bit cheeky.
It's a bit cheeky.
It's cheeky.
Cheeky, not criminal.
Irish
let's
cheeky.
not name him.
I've only got one son.
Okay, let's not name her.
But it's up to them. They could say, absolutely not. I'm looking here. 5 went out. Good luck to you. But rather than lose his business, they'll go, really sorry about that. We'll put a €20 into your...
That is good. Justin, do you spend a lot of Christmas? Is this something that freaks you out? No.
No, I really don't. I mean, look, unfortunately, I'm really boring, and in terms of like, I think it's quite. You can have.
I don't think it's unfortunately boring. I think it's just natural.
I'm naturally boring, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm here to be the naturally boring half of the gruesome twosome. But I think about it. I plan it. It's in our budget. We consider what we're spending. We're mindful of whatever's going on in the world. So no.
Do you put a tree up? I can't remember. You do, don't you?
It's more like a twig.
Yeah.
No, we do.
German.
But I
Very
can't remember your house being overly like our older sister, right, Miriam? Like she just goes to town.
Okay.
That's like she could invite people, she could charge people into the house.
But you're either that person or you're not.
And I would have been somewhere in between. But like we would have 3 Christmas trees up.
What?
Oh, my wife is like she does do an awful lot of work around Christmas. So there is 2 Christmas trees in the house. It's one in the kitchens, one in the living room, and she does love that. And I think so. We really enjoy the idea of Christmas, and we enjoy the nature of what it is. And you know, look, I'm religious. I believe in God and Christianity and all that.
Do you go to mass on Christmas Day?
So I go to mass, right? And so I think there's a lot of value in that. I think it's just not getting distracted by materiality. But you know, just a funny point, right, about complaining. And this is completely true. But my wife learned what she got involved in early on in our relationship. I think it was our second or third date.
Right.
And we went to a restaurant in Teddington in London that we used to go to quite a bit, or separately, right? We just so happened to both like the same restaurant. And they made such a balls of our dinner, like our main course. When you said about, complaining because stuff wasn't there, it was a disaster, right? And I went ape-shit, right? And Beatrice will tell you that she has an abiding memory of standing at the exit of the restaurant while I lined up kitchen staff, managers, and everybody going through what was wrong. And it was just horrendous. And she was like,
she must have been so horny for you.
God,
How did she not just turn and go the opposite direction?
What? On the first date?
So I think it was the third date. I think it was the third date.
Okay.
Were you trying? Was this kind of like, she'll know I'm a real man? Like, what?
No, I was just
you were
going
pissed.
apeshit because they just tried to stitch me up, and I just don't pay
You
for
remind me
core
of
service.
Jason. Our first date, there was an itemized bill, and I was like, "This is sexy," because he went through it like a fine tooth comb, and I was like, "What's happening? The frugality or scabbing? What is happening?" And he's like, "I don't think she had 3 glasses." I was like, "No, I did." Well, I don't know if I did. He goes, "You did or you didn't?" And I was like, "Oh my God, Jay, we're not in the dock. It does matter." I just thought, wow. But hey, I married him.
But I constantly complain in restaurants, and there was your nieces and nephews will tell the story. We're all banned from a Mexican restaurant in Albufera because it was about 15-20 minutes and the starters hadn't come, and I went and your woman wouldn't tell me why. I realised later that 2 of the staff had called in sick, and so they should have said there's going to be a delay, or do you want to move somewhere else? And they constantly avoided, and then this little guy came out. I'm saying little because he was a little guy, and I'm tall. and she said, "That's the manager," and I said, "Oi, I want to talk to you." And he looked, and obviously he'd been told what was happening, and he ran back in. So I ran after him, right? And I grabbed him by the shoulder.
What?
The shoulder. And I dragged him out.
Which we're not condoning in any way, shape, or form assault.
Oh no, I had lost it completely. Oh, listen, everybody, all of my nieces and nephews, all looked around going, "He's bringing."
Had you had a can of red wine yet,
by
or
the shoulder? No, I'd lost it. I could gone, and I went, "Now tell all these people, apologise," and they all went. All of them went, "Colm, please, we're all leaving. We're all leaving." And he actually said to me, I didn't realise it was in Portuguese, and this can all be confirmed, that he'd got one of the waitresses to ring the police. But we didn't have to pay.
Colm, every restaurant I've ever been to with you, people have complained about us. So there's never been the reverse. So that's horrendous.
Yeah,
because of the noise.
Well, that's just because they were a bit loud, yeah. But
what would you do if you were given a very expensive present? If you're a bit more frugal about Christmas and careful and enjoy it, and some family member turns up at your house for Christmas Day, Justin, what do you do if there's these ostentatious gifts? Find that
I
stressful?
receive it with immense gratitude and joy.
Oh, would you put it on Dundee now?
Put it straight up on adverts.
Which you don't get.
And I can buy it back.
Cash is king, baby.
Depends on their taste. And
You don't get upset, but you don't feel there's a competitive nature to that. You don't get upset. Some people drown in this, like being honest. People drown in this mental health stuff at Christmas where they feel a huge amount of pressure to keep up with the Joneses. Like, jokes aside, lads, Terry as well, like, there's a real pressure on families to make Santa the best thing ever. If you're a separated or newly bred family, like, to keep the whole thing, the show on the road. If you're a family who aren't religious, you suddenly then replicate, like, because I would go to church on Christmas Day, you replicate it with stuff, right? And the gift giving of families who are maybe in a different tier financially, it is very stressful to receive. And I think it's lovely. You've said I'd receive it with grace and gratitude and thank you so much. And if you'd re-gift it or move on or sell it, jokes aside, people find Christmas very stressful.
Look, again, from doing so many talk shows over the years and coming to this time of the year, you talk to people and it's like they're just throttling along during the year, just managing to get by, kids' uniforms, everything's expensive. And suddenly it's just, it doesn't matter what level you're at financially. There's just this higher expectation is put on you because it's Christmas, which of course has been marketed to us by all of the super rich companies. It's not marketed to us by, if there's a God himself or his bearded son, but it's marketed to us by.
You just point to Justin.
No, God's bearded son.
You just went like that.
Oh my God, you're the savior.
Stop putting your hand up.
Oh, if you're the savior, I'm out of here.
My initials are JC.
Oh my God.
Most of my friends call me JC.
Do they?
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my God, you are God.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is I absolutely agree. And then suddenly these families are put under so much pressure. They then go to like money lenders. I know this week anybody on social welfare gets the extra week. The government, so if you're on 300 a week, they'll double it up or whatever, which is great. But look.
Sorry, no, it's 100% this year that they're going to get around Christmas, which I've argued and said, why are you not giving these families who are on the breadline this money in January instead of for buying stuff they
Actually,
don't
good point.
need?
Yeah.
Give them, let them at it now, maybe give them half. So give them 150, let them have a nice Christmas. And in January, when their, fuel costs, their kids need to eat, give them that money then when it is like the longest month of the year. I don't understand why people wonder why there's alcohol problems and mental health problems and people in the gutter. Like I was at the soup kitchen yesterday and I was like, why are we giving the money pre-Christmas? It's so wrong.
But I think, it's one of the things I've said this before on the podcast that, in my coaching business, which is part of my life, I don't know, I've probably had 1,000 conversations with people over the past, 8 or 10 years. And predominantly everybody's desperately worried about what everybody else thinks about them. And that really stretches quite well into Christmas. Everybody's worried about what people think about them as to how they gift or what they do or don't do. But in reality, you can just rest assured that everybody's thinking about what everybody else is thinking. So if you just protect your own family, work within your own budget, and manage yourself to get through to 2026, knowing that January is always going to be hard, why get yourself into unnecessary debt? It's not worth it. And nobody actually remembers what you gave them anyway. I don't think people care.
See, you're not boring. That's such an amazing tip that we actually, seriously, nobody as a child, I remember the joy, if there was joy, if it wasn't great in the house, I remember that feeling. I remember the food, the relatives, I remember slippers. I don't really, yes, we'd get the odd computer console and that is exciting for kids. Anything else?
Family, the warm fire, the big dinner, maybe the funny TV show on TV. These are the things, and the traditions. Like the Elf. We all watch the movie, and it's part of our tradition. I think we can get lost in the materiality, but you also have a choice to try not to.
I know, but look, you make an awful lot of sense, common sense. And the one time in the year which you would love common sense to prevail, the one time it doesn't, is Christmas. I mean, you've started already on social media. I mean, firstly, you're bombarded every time you open up your TikTok or your Instagram. Secondly, it's now you've got people doing their little videos going around their houses showing how amazing their house is done up, So that's immediately putting pressure on other people. You've got the kids with the Oculus. You've got and there's just, social media amongst everything. It's just, I would love common sense to prevail. I'd love there to be I'd love to be a cap.
Well, sorry, I fed into the doing up my house, but it wasn't thousands or hundreds. Like I got a tree down the road.
There are people who are
sure, but I got a tree in a forest put up with my kids, and what it was special because they like the tradition of that.
Yeah.
I saw that in your social media the other day. It was really cute.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, woo, we're so fancy. It was like a tree.
But
I know what you're. I know, but you're saying it's also putting pressure on the families who maybe haven't started, mums who are working late shifts in hospitals. And I guess I'm not thinking about that because I've literally fed into the bullshit. But it was sweet because she'll only be 4. She'll only be that age for so long. Jason's from South Africa where trees were not. They did not care about this kind of stuff. It was more Scandi. You go to the beach for Christmas Day. So I'm trying to give them what I had. But it is interesting. We are feeding into it. The minute the Halloween stuff comes down, we're straight into it.
Right, I have an idea. Right. Okay.
We're cancelling Christmas.
No, I'm not cancelling.
We're cancelling Christmas.
I'm capping it, right?
Capping it.
So I'm capping Christmas for everyone, right?
A Christmas cap?
A Christmas cap.
Not a nightcap.
So economically, with Christmas cap, we're only allowed, we'll decide on the price, but families can only spend that amount. If you spend any more than that, the Christmas police come in and they either take the toys out that you bought
or your children.
Or one of your children. Yeah. You choose.
Because the average family spends
Sophie's
$3.5 grand, isn't it, or something?
And
that's crazy.
I think there should be a Christmas cap. But anyone, let's change the whole thing. Anybody who goes over the Christmas cap should be ridiculed on social media going, oh, you think you're great.
Oh, dear God.
So rather than giving them likes, you give them, I don't know, 2 fingers.
So after they're making a mistake, of going overspending, you're going to ridicule them and make them feel worse again.
Yes, because they could afford to go over the cap.
Well, we're doing Secret Santa. We do €2 each. Like, what are we doing then? We just cap it.
Ollie's in 3 Chris Kindles and they're €50
no,
each.
I can't. That's
crazy.
That's a job she just started. But then she says if you do a Chris Kindle and it's a tenner, you get somebody something they're never going to
No,
use.
you're not, because you say to them, I'd like some condoms, or I'd like a magazine, which is about 10 grand for
Sorry,
Vogue now.
I will say to Chris Kindle's what I'll say to you three in our Chris Kindle. Nah, you're all right.
I have something
You add
already
a
for
little
you.
bit of the Grinch. Why did you come with the idea of capping
I
Christmas?
don't want to be
Well,
your
look,
Chris Kendall.
I-
I don't want to have to think about buying you something. I'm busy. And we're all
Do
busy.
you ever go out and buy anything?
Between
Huh?
all the
Do
Christmas,
you buy anything?
I don't buy anything. I buy Beatrice a present. That's it.
Do you
That's my
get
only
somebody to
job.
buy Beatrice the present, or do you buy it?
No, I do buy it.
And do you actually go into a shop and buy it?
It depends.
And do
What
you
about
haggle for it?
Luca?
And do you haggle for it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But, just on traditions, a tradition that I've always had in our house is that myself and Luca put the Christmas tree up every year. So Beatrice does everything else, but me and Luca do the tree.
Yeah.
And, he's now, I don't know, 6'6", 6'7".
Taller than the tree.
He's massive. And the thing he said to me yesterday was, it's this weekend, it's our putting up the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And I think, at 18, I'm so pleased that he's still
That's
doing
so
that.
cute.
that's what I was just about to say. They're the moments that we forget about, that what Christmas actually means. They are the real moments, and they are in there. They are. If you can get over all the hype and over all the adverts, like Colm said, and all the advertising and marketing and spending, if you remember that it's about family, friends, love, belonging, and just being in those moments together and having those traditional senses of things where your son, who's 18 years of age, doesn't have to remember, but he does remember because it means something to him, and he'll remember that, and he'll introduce that to his kids, hopefully. And that's all it's about.
Terry,
That's what Christmas should be about.
I'm saying that, but
Terry,
I'm
that's
saying
just a wonderful monologue.
yes.
Well done.
But I'm saying it, Terry, in a way that we can do this. We've banned advertising for toys. We've banned advertising for cigarettes. We've banned advertising for
Okay,
alcohol.
Pascal Donahue,
Let's
do you wanna
ban
back up your truck?
advertising for Christmas.
I like
so in other
it.
words, we ban social media, all television, all outdoor media.
Yeah, but
There's
you're
a
like the
ban on
Nazi Christmas. You're like,
Sorry.
And if you
Christmas.
don't,
Bans it all.
Colm's going to go and put his hand on your shoulder and tear you back.
Sorry, Terry and I are more emotional. Like Terry, if you have family, and this is obviously a first Christmas for you, that's new. Yeah. If you have family and if you love people around you, like yesterday, my little 4-year-old was brought to an old folks home. We all brought them up, and I was a bit like, "What is this?" in Dargle, and it was so beautiful. They went up and they were to sing 6 songs, and I thought, what is this? I'll just bring her and I have to go. I'm in a rush and I'm stressed. So I bring her and her little friends in the car in their booster seats, and a few parents went up. Well, I never expected the raw emotion of watching a bunch of octogenarians and sitting, not able to move, maybe dementia, maybe don't have family people visiting anymore, watching these little kids picking their noses and singing Jingle. Bell. The emotion in that room, because you're looking at 4-year-olds with all this
because it was
positivity,
real.
light, joy, real, and these people who are just looking at them.
Because that's what Christmas is. It's
And
always
they wanted
about those.
hugs from them after, and they wanted touch. They say, oh, people don't get enough touch. They aren't getting hugged enough. And I left there and I felt so uplifted. And honestly, you're talking about the meanings and the moments and the Christmas tea tradition and the going to the church and the even sitting there and getting a funny gift from someone. We need to remember no one else cares about the other stuff.
I totally agree. So let's ban it.
Reminds me of
Don't stick your hand in the air.
Have you seen that Landman when they go to the old people's home? So Landman's a great show.
Oh, with Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob
Yeah,
Thornton,
great
and his
show.
wife starts going to old people's homes, and she's like this super hot sex symbol type lady, very similar to yourself.
Yeah, thanks,
Right?
Justin.
And she goes
features.
to these old people's homes, and they to do good, and she just has this incredible experience because, it is sad, but a lot of people, and they get to a certain age, can tend to be ignored, and that's hard.
I felt that yesterday, and I think we forget about everything going on when we're in our own little insular. I felt very sad for people who are forgotten. And
Should we bring the podcast to an old person?
Can I just close on one point as we come to an end? But just as another sidebar, in Greystones, the town that we shoot this podcast in, most people refer to me actually as Santa, and I got that nickname because of this beard and how I look. So this is my time of year in Greystones.
This is your time of year. Were you the man on the stage last weekend, were you? You were the man on the stage last weekend?
No, but a lot of people think I am, and I get the piss taken out of me all the time.
Do you get small children sometimes saying Santa as you walk by and stuff like that? Because that's pretty cute.
I don't think you look like Santa. You look like Billy Bob Thornton.
Bit different.
Yeah.
That's bad Santa.
A lot on that note,
Naughty
like,
Santa.
subscribe and follow.
I was going to talk to you about something else, but we'll do it in next week's show about this little village on the Algarve where only cash is used that we go to every year on holiday.
I like that. I like
in
that.
Tavira, and it's so interesting. You can sorry, it's not that little, by the way. It's pretty big and really commercialized and touristy. And they will not everywhere you go, hairdresser cafes. And my mum and I were like last year, this is not okay. We're on the beach trying to. We'll talk about it next week's show, so you got to listen to that. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, get
and
involved.
launder. Or cash.
Like
Cash is king, everybody.
Cash is king, baby. Cash is king.
Bye.
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 Thank you.